Welcome back to Changfied YouTube channel, your trusted source for latest update across South Sudan and beyond. We have three important stories. First, let's look at this report. 35 NUDF members leave the party and join USSP. According to this information, a new political development has taken place in Western Barghazal. 35 members of the National United Democratic Front, or NUDF, have announced their resignation from the party. The group has now joined the United South Sudan Party, also known as the USSP. The USSP is led by Paulino Lukudu Obede, who also serves as the Deputy Governor of Central Equatorial State. The announcement was made in Wau over the weekend. William Jerome Angelo, who previously served as the NUDF Deputy Secretary General, spoke on behalf of the group and read their joint resignation statement. According to the department members, they decided to leave because of what they describe as poor leadership and marginalization of some party members. The group consists of 25 members from Wau County and 10 members from Jur River County. The departure of 35 members at the same time is a notable political development for the NUDF in Western Barghazal State. However, the two sides strongly disagree about why the group left. To understand this political dispute, it is important to look at the event that happened before the resignation. On June 29, 2026, the NUDF National Chairman Cornelo Konu issued an order removing George Richard Ukelo from his position as acting chairman of the party in Western Barghazal State. This leadership change came after earlier political development involving a possible government appointment. Ukelo had previously been considered for the position of Western Barghazal State Minister of Housing, Land and Public Utilities. He was expected to represent Wau County. According to this information, on May 14, 2026, representatives of the other political parties, commonly known as the OPP, had supported his possible nomination. The OPP include representatives from 6 political parties. However, the political situation later changed. The earlier support for Ukelo became controversial after his party reportedly withdrew its signature. The party leadership later replaced him. This disagreement appeared to have contributed to growing tension inside the NUDF structure in Western Barghazal. Then came the collective resignation, but the NUDF national leadership has strongly rejected the explanation given by those who left. According to the NUDF leadership in Juba, the departure could not be presented as a principal political decision. The party argued that the resignation came after Ukelo had already been removed from his leadership position. The NUDF accused him of mismanagement, institutional failure and political betrayal. These accusations made by the party leadership, and they represent the NUDF side of the dispute. The party also accused Ukelo of managing the Wau County branch in a way that favored certain individual and weakened the party internal structure. Ukelo and the departing members, however, have presented a different picture. Their position is that poor leadership and the marginalization of members were among the main reasons for leaving. So there are now two competing accounts. On one side, the Defect said internal leadership problem pushed them out. Well, on the other side, The NUDF leadership say the resignation followed the removal of party officials and were an attempt to respond politically to that decision. The United South Sudan Party has welcomed the new members. Patrick Baraka, the acting Secretary General of the USSP, confirmed that more than 30 people from WOW had joined the party. He said the USSP did not force or pressure the group to join. According to him, the members made their own political decision and the party welcomed them because it wants people to work together in serving the country. This political development raises several important questions. What does the departure of 35 members mean for the NUDF in Western Barghazal? Will more members follow them? Can the NUDF rebuild unity within its state structures, and will the USSP gain more political influence in Western Barghazal after receiving the new members? These questions are especially important as South Sudan moves toward the anticipated general election scheduled for December 22nd, 2026. Political parties need organization, unity, and functioning structure if they want to compete effectively in an election. Internal disagreement can weaken a political party. When party officials fight over position, nomination, or leadership, ordinary members can lose confidence. Some may remain inside the party and demand reform. Others may decide to leave and join another political organization. At the same time, changing political parties is not unusual in South Sudan. Political alliance can change quickly. Politicians and party members sometimes move from one organization to another because of leadership disagreement, personal political interests, policy differences, or competition over a position. The important issue is how political parties manage disagreement. In a functioning political system, disagreement does not always have to destroy a party. Members can disagree over leadership, they can disagree over candidates, they can disagree over government appointment, they can also disagree over the direction of their political organization. But parties need to clear rule and fair internal process to manage those disagreements. When members believe that they are not being heard, internal tension can grow. At the same time, when party leaders believe that officials are failing in their responsibilities, they may take disciplinary action. That is why transparency is important. The public need to hear the different side and judge the available fact. In this case, the departing members have given their reason. The NUDF leadership has also responded with its own explanation. The USSP has confirmed that it has accepted the new members. What happens next will depend on whether this political movement ends with these 35 members or whether more changes follow. The situation may also test the strength of the NUDF in Western Barghazal. A political party is not only its national leadership, it also depends on local structure. It depends on members at the state, county, and community level. Let's move on to our second top story. According to our second top story, chief and father of suspect detained after fatal shooting in Rumbek East. According to this information, a tragic incident has been reported in Rumbek East, county of Lake State. A young man identified as Matweg Mapol Min Matiang was shot and killed at Agoi cattle camp. According to the information available, the shooting is believed to have been accidental. The suspected shooter reportedly fled after the incident. Local authorities have responded by detaining chief and the father of the suspect. They have also seized cattle belonging to the suspect. The authorities said these measures will remain in place until the wanted man is handed over to the government. The incident reportedly happened during what began as a happy social moment. According to account of the incident, the suspect and the deceased knew each other and were friends. The suspect reportedly wanted to buy a valuable bull from the young man who was later killed. People at the cattle camp were reportedly celebrating and singing songs praising the bull. During the celebration, the suspect was reportedly firing a gun into the air. Then tragedy happened. A shot struck and killed the young man. What began as a celebration suddenly became a scene of grief. Rumbegi's County Commissioner Malo Alanyun confirmed the incident and said the government had intervened. According to the commissioner, authorities seized cattle belonging to the suspect and detained its chief as well as the suspect's father. The commissioner said the people and cattle would remain in government custody until the suspect is handed over to the authorities. He also said the government would continue investigating the circumstances of the shooting. Some people have described the incident as an accident. However, the commissioner said the suspect must still surrender and explain what happened. This is important because even when a death appears to be accident, authorities still need to investigate. A person has lost his life. The family deserves to know exactly what happened. The community also needs the truth so that rumors do not create further tension. According to Commissioner Ainyon, the suspect came from the Pajar clan, while the deceased came from the Pabon clan of the Deal section. The commissioner said the two men were friends. He also said the communities involved did not have a history of conflict with each other at that cattle camp. According to his account, the shooting was not planned and was not connected to an existing clan conflict. The commissioner said the situation was calm following government intervention. That calm is extremely important. In many communities, the killing of one person can quickly create anger. Family members may demand immediate revenge. Rumors can spread. People may act before the full fact are known. When that happens, one death can lead to another death, then another family may seek revenge. A single incident can grow into a long cycle of violence. That is why community leader, government officials, young people and families have an important responsibility to prevent escalation. Daniel Latkon, a civil society activist in Lagos State, also called for calm. He urged the family of the deceased and the wider community to allow the authorities to handle the case. He also used the incident to raise a wider concern about the careless use of firearm. His message was clear: gun kill even when a person does not intend to kill. Firing a weapon into the air may look like part of a celebration, but bullets are dangerous. A gun is not a toy. A bullet fired into the air does not simply disappear. It can return to the ground. It can strike someone nearby. It can pass through a roof. It can injure a child. It can kill a friend. This tragedy in Rumbek is another reminder of the dangers of reckless gun use. Celebration should not end in funeral. Wedding should not become place of death. Cattle ceremonies should not become scenes of bloodshed. People should be able to celebrate without fearing bullets. The civil society activists call on the government to regulate civilian possession and use of firearm. He also renewed call for disarmament. The issue of civilian weapons has remained a major security concern in several parts of South Sudan. In communities where many civilians possess guns, a small disagreement can become deadly very quickly. A dispute that might once have ended with word or a traditional community process can become fatal when guns are involved. The presence of weapon can also make revenge attack more dangerous. This does not mean every person carrying a gun intended to commit a crime, but widespread access to firearm increase the risk of accidental shooting, revenge killing, and army conflict. The Rumbek case also raised difficult question about accountability. The authority have detained the chief and the suspect father, even though the suspect himself is the person being sought. They have also seized his cattle. The government said these measures are intended to pressure the suspected to surrender. Well, let's move on to our third top story. Central Equatoria warn cattle aider to return to their areas of origin. Well, according to this report, the government of Central Equatoria State has issued a strong warning to cattle aiders who refuse to leave areas where authorities have ordered them to move their animals. According to the State Minister of Information, Patrick, cattle aider who refused to follow the directive could be arrested and taken to court. The state government said the order is intended to reduce repeated violence between cattle keepers and farming communities. The minister said aiders should return peacefully to their place of origin. However, he warned that law enforcement agencies could become involved if people refuse to comply. According to the minister, the issue is serious because disputes involving cattle have contributed to violence, death, and destruction of crop. The state government say it is not trying to reject any community. Instead, officials say the goal is to restore peace and reduce conflict. The directive also affects cattle aiders from Terekeka County. The government said cattle should return to their areas of origin as part of effort to prevent further clashes between farmers and pastoralists. The issue of cattle movement has remained one of the most difficult local security problems in part of the Equatorial region. Cattle keepers need water, they need grass for the animals, also farmers need land for crop. When cattle enter farming areas, crop can be destroyed. When crops are destroyed, farmers can lose the food they depend on for their families. A farmer may spend months preparing the land. The farmer plants seed, the farmer removes weed, the farmer wait for crop to grow, then cattle may enter the farm and destroy everything in a short time. For the farmer, this is not a small problem. It can mean hunger, loss of income. It can mean that months of hard work have disappeared. At the same time, cattle keepers also face serious challenges. Their animals need water and pasture. During dry season, finding enough water and grass can become difficult. When local resources are limited, aiders may move long distance in search of a better condition for their animals. This movement can bring them into farming areas. Then tension began. The problem became even more dangerous when people are harmed. A disagreement over damaged crop can turn into a shooting. A dispute over water can lead to revenge. A killing can lead to another killing. Then the original issue is no longer only about cattle or crop. It can become a wider conflict between communities. This is why the Central Equatorial State government said it wants cattle to return to their place of origin. The authorities said the policy follow a presidential order issued in 2015. That order directed pastoralists to return with their animal to their home areas. However, a year later, the issue continues. This shows that an order alone may not be enough. The cause of cattle movement also need to be addressed. If herders leave their areas because there is no water, then water access is part of the problem. If there is not enough pasture, that also need attention. If farmers have no protection for their land, their concern must be addressed. If people carry weapons and use them during dispute, security must also be improved. Minister Patrick said a committee has been created to consult the Mundari community. The government said the committee will discuss concerns raised by cattle aiders. One of those concerns is the need for better access to water in Terekeka County. The minister said the government understands that people from Terekeka are part of Central Equatorial State. He explained that the relocation order is not meant to deny that fact. According to the government, the goal is to prevent further violence and loss of life. The discussion about water reservoir is particularly important if communities have reliable water in their home areas, there may be less pressure to move cattle into farming areas. This could reduce competition over land and water. But building water infrastructure requires planning, it requires funding, it requires maintenance, and it requires cooperation between government and local communities. A long-term solution must look at both security and development. Police can respond when violence happens, court can handle criminal cases, government order can direct people to move, but these measures may not solve the deeper cause of the problem. South Sudan needs local solutions that allow farming communities and cattle keeping communities to live without constant fear of conflict. This requires clear rules. Where can cattle move? Where are farming areas? What happens when cattle destroy crop? Who pay compensation? Who investigate when violence occurs? How can communities communicate before tension become deadly? These questions need practical answer. Traditional leaders can play an important role. Sheep and elders often understand local movement, pattern, and community relationship. Women should also be included in peace discussion because they are deeply affected by displacement, food insecurity, and violence. Young people must be involved because they are often the group most directly involved in cattle movement and local security. Government officials must enforce law fairly. No community should believe that the law protect one side and ignore the other. Fairness is essential. If a farmer commits a crime, that person should face the law. If a cattle keeper commits a crime, that person should also face the law. Justice should focus on individual responsibility, not collective blame. It is also important to avoid language that creates hatred between communities. Not every cattle keeper is violent. Not every farmer is against pastoralists. Most ordinary people want to live. They want to feed their families. They want security. They want their children to go to school. They want to work without fear. The conflict is often caused by competition over resources, a weak law enforcement, weapon, and unresolved dispute. Those problems can be addressed, but they require serious leadership. The warning from Central Equatoria is clear. Authorities said either who refuse to comply with the directive may be arrested and taken to court. The government said it wants the movement to happen peacefully. The question now is how the order will be implemented. Will communities cooperate? Will there be enough consultation? Will security forces act according to the law? Will the government address the shortage of water in cattle keeping areas? And can this policy finally reduce the repeated violence between farmers and herders? These are important questions. Arresting people may enforce an order in the short time, but lasting peace require more communities, more things like, community needs water, farmer need protection for their crop, cattle keeper need safe area for the animals, local leader need system for solving dispute before they become violence, and people who commit crime must be held individually accountable. The government plan to consult the Mundari community is therefore an important part of the process. Dialogue should happen before violence. People should be allowed to explain their concern. The government should also clearly explain how the relocation will happen. A peaceful process is better than a forced confrontation. South Sudan has enough conflict. A disagreement over the cattle should not become another war between communities. A destroyed farm should be addressed through compensation and the law, not revenge. A dispute over water should be addressed through dialogue and development, not bullet. Peace between farmer and cattle keepers is possible, but peace requires responsibility from everyone. Either must control their cattle, farmers should report dispute through peaceful channel. Government authorities must enforce the law fairly, community leader must reject revenge, and national and state government must invest in water and other services that reduce competition over scarce resources. Well, that's it. If you are new to Changfied YouTube channel, I will like you to the channel by subscribing, turn on the notification bell so whenever we upload a new video, you can be notified. Thank you for watching. Let's meet on the next report.